Hi guys, welcome back to 100% Marks. I hope you're all staying safe and well out there. So Newcastle United announced on the official Twitter page that Newcastle had signed Sven Botman on Tuesday. It was 8:30 announcement on the Twitter account coming out saying Newcastle United agreed a deal in principle with Lille to sign Dutch defender Sven Botman for an undisclosed fee. Now, the reason it says in principle is because, of course, Lille uh, are waiting to announce it on the 1st of July, which is tomorrow, officially, as that is the start of their financial year. So they want to get it on their new financial books for that period instead of course, the books that are now. And that is why Newcastle had to put in principle on the Twitter account, but he has signed the deal. And according to reports coming from Fabrizio Romano, he says official confirmed Sven Botman joins Newcastle on a permanent deal of 37 million euros. Fee after long negotiation, contract agreed until June 2027. So that means he's got a 5-year deal with the club. And I believe Sven Botman is 22 years old as well. So that means that he will be with the club until he is 27. And of course, if he signs another deal after that, which I'm sure he will, then he will remain with the club from that period on as well. A lot of people got in on it. We're seeing again Gadassi coming out and saying welcome to the family, Sven. Something that Gadassi has done with every signing that's joined Newcastle United, and it's nice to see that from the owners that they do appreciate everybody that comes to the club, and they do make them all feel like they're part of one big happy family, because that's what it is at Newcastle United now. It's just one massive family. Everybody gets behind each other and we'll all go in the same direction. And it's nice to see these kind of tweets coming out, from the owners of, our club as well, because we're very rarely seeing any sort of communication from the previous regime. So it's nice to see this sort of thing coming from the owners. And of course, he wasn't the only one. Jimmy Rubin also putting out a tweet as well, saying welcome to the best club in the world. Pete Graves as well putting out a tweet saying credit NUFC hierarchy for the Botman capture. Another player who brought into the Newcastle United project in January, but Lille refused to sell till now. Club finally get their man. He finally gets his move to Newcastle. Job done, and welcome along, Sven. And then, of course, Sven Botman as well put out on his social media saying happy to be part of the Magpies family. And of course, then the Athletic put out an article as well saying Eddie Howe is receptive to playing two left-footed centre-backs, meaning the arrival of Sven Botman doesn't push Dan Burn as far down the pecking order. And that is according to the Athletic. Keith Downey as well put up a picture of Sven Botman arriving at St James's Park after his medical at the training ground, of course, for a £35 million move. And according to Football Mercat website, the market value at time of the transfer for Sven Botman was £27 million. And of course, he is 22 years old, 5 months and 19 days. He had 2 years, 11 months, and 30 days remaining on his contract. So, in other words, June 30th, 2025, his contract would have expired at Lille. But that's not going to happen now because he is a Newcastle United player. And the fee, according to Football Mercat, is 33.30 million, so just under £34 million. Newcastle are paying, according to Football Mercat, for Sven Botman, which is an absolute steal when you consider, what the guy has done. He's won a title already in France. He's one of the most sought after centre backs in world football. He's being touted to be the next Virgil van Dijk, maybe even better than Virgil van Dijk. So we'll see how it goes from there. But I'm absolutely chuffed to bits with this deal. It's a massive deal for Newcastle United. It's a massive deal moving forward as well. And when you put that alongside the other deals that we've already gotten as well, including the ones in January. I mean, if you look at January signings, we brought in Dan Burn, we brought in Matty Target on loan, who's now a permanent signing in this window. We brought in Chris Wood. We brought in Bruno Guimaraes. We brought in Kieran Trippier. Then you look at this window, you know, like I say, Matty Target came in on a permanent deal. Nick Pope's come in this window, and now Sven Botman. So some absolutely massive signings, you know, and there's still plenty of time left in the window as well, right the way to the 1st of September. So there's plenty of time to get even more signings. I think now, though, looking at with centre backs, you know, I think we do have some of the best centre backs out there. I think we've got some of the best defence out there as well. I mean, if you look at our back line, we've got Matty Target, Dan Burn, Nick Pope, Sven Botman, and Kieran Trippier for a back four. That is absolutely immense. You know, that's a team that has the ability to possibly get, you know, into Europa Conference League, maybe even Europa League spot, because there's still signings to come. You know, we're still looking at other players out there. I believe Newcastle's looking at Rafinha still. We're looking at Diaby still from Leverkusen as well. There's other players that we're looking at. Newcastle's just, according to Football Insider, signed a 16-year-old kid for 6.5 grand, per week from Southampton, and he is called Tyler Tibbert, I believe it is, or I did put it up on my social media page, so you can go check out the name for the correct pronunciation. It's Tyler Dibling from Southampton that Newcastle have paid 6,500 k per week wages to get from Southampton. So, you know, he's obviously somebody that's really big coming up as well. He did score a hat-trick against Newcastle's under-21s last season. An identical hat-trick at St James's Park against Newcastle's under-21s last season as well. So that could be the reason why we're paying as much as that on his wages. Definitely a one to watch out for in the future. But as for the Sven Botman deal, absolutely, you know, an amazing deal by Newcastle. Really good negotiation skills in the window as well. We're not being held to ransom over players, which is nice to see, you know, unlike some other clubs like Aston Villa, Everton, even Man City. When they started out, you know, Man City were getting held to ransom over players' wages, players' fees, and it's nice to see, you know, that Newcastle aren't being messed around, and if players and clubs, you know, are trying to overexert themselves with Newcastle and try and make a bit more money out of it, then we're going to walk away, and that's the good way to do it. You know, that's the right way to do it as well. But let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, remember, like, share, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, lads.